Hey, up next on the MARR Rock Show, I am super excited to have this guest back on, man. It's been a long time. We've got John from Lansdowne of Boston, Massachusetts on because of a couple things. One, because we love having him as a guest, and two, because they've got a brand new single out called Falling Down that we've put in our golden dozen. John, welcome back to the show.
What's up, man? Good to be back. What's up?
Hey, I'm going to ask you what's up. Learn a lot more about what's going on because it's been a while since we talked to you. So I mentioned Falling Down. That's out right now. Tell me a little bit about the song. Who did the writing on it and where was it recorded? Some of the background of the song.
Yeah, man. So this batch of songs, a couple of the other ones we put out as teasers, and especially this one, very self-reflective. Falling Down is about trying to be better, trying to be a good person, but constantly failing at it and trying to do better. And it just seems like we're always in this cycle of, we're inherently good people and we want to be kind and we want to be generous, but we're also pretty fucking selfish too. So every time for me anyways, I'll try and be a good dude and then I'll screw up and be like, God. And it just seems like you can't ever get to that point of being as good as you want to be, and there's a reason for that. We're flawed people, right? We're never going to be perfect. So the verses take you through kind of comparing, I could be a really good guy, but I could also be a huge prick. And then if you go into the chorus, it's every time I try and climb up and get there, I just get smashed back down. So I think it's a healthy way to try and be honest about being flawed as a person and just accepting that, your best effort has to be your best effort, and you have to accept that and just kind of make small steps toward it. Song was recorded at Red 13 Studios in Boston, Massachusetts. It was written by Sean and me. And I'm trying to think of how long ago. We wrote this a while ago. We were actually at a party that was ending up in New Hampshire after a show, and we were just sitting down, going back and forth on this thing. So it's been in the hopper for a while, but I love it, man.
It's a great release, and I wasn't going to mention this, but you know what? I'm going to tell you, it's weird. You remind me of Peter Gabriel on that song. I don't know why, but your voice sounds like Peter Gabriel on that song.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I never picked that up on you before, but anyway. Hey, so update us on kind of the current status of what the band's doing. In the last year or two, we've seen a couple singles come out. You kind of mentioned that, sort of. What's the current status of Lansdowne, or what are you guys planning on doing right now?
Yeah, man, we came off the road a couple of years ago just to kind of focus on our families and ourselves a little bit. Everyone's doing great stuff, and we've all been lucky to meet people, or in my case, I've met Melissa a long time ago, but have more kids, and just trying to enjoy being dads and being good either husbands or boyfriends. But we've been writing this whole time, so there's a ton of material that no one's heard yet. We got to pick through it and see what we want to put out. So we tried to tease a little bit, just put a song or two out every now and then. But I'll tell you what, upcoming in this new year, here's what's going to happen. So first of all, in the next few weeks, we'll put out a teaser for Falling Down. Glenn is actually working on this right now over with his company, Mungo Creative Group.
Yeah.
This thing is badass. I'm super excited about it. I don't get excited about any of our art stuff. I'm not that guy. So whatever they want to do, I'm usually just I don't fucking care. This thing is really cool. It's got this grungy, old school vibe, but it's also kind of digital. So I'm excited for that to come out next few weeks. Say Q1 of the new year, we'll package up all the songs that we put out, and then we'll add one brand new song to that. So we'll do that as an EP, and then we'll be working on a full length next year, and we'll be putting that out. I don't know if it'll come out in the fall of next year. That's up to Sean. So we all have our own little job. Sean runs our music stuff. Glenn runs our marketing stuff, and I kind of just try not to get fired. So no, I'm just kidding. But
we really miss seeing you guys live. Now I know that there's been an occasional live show, and so I'm going to guess that based on what you told me, the album's going to come out before a tour. But let me ask anyway: when's the next chance to see you guys do a tour?
So tour is going to correspond with a record for sure. We just signed some stuff with a label. We worked so hard over the years to not sign with anybody and just do it ourselves, and I think we've done a good job. You guys are all amazing. I think there's just over 160,000 followers on Spotify listening every month, which is crazy, all over the world. So we built it up as big as we could. We just partnered with somebody. We haven't announced that yet. So along with that partnership, I think we're going to put some work into releasing some music and touring. Again, probably next fall, doing it right. But yeah, I think we played 2 shows this year. We did a co-headliner at a festival with Buck Cherry, and then we just did this show at our friends Prospect Hill up in New Hampshire just for fun for Halloween, get all dressed up. And but we're aching to play, man. I mean, trust me, we miss it.
How ironic is that? Look down, I'm wearing a Prospect Hill hoodie tonight. Look at that. Just right as I'm talking to you.
So, what a bunch of dirtbags. No, they're good friends of ours. We love those dudes.
So I think I know the answer to this, but if somebody just you kind of met and they kind of heard you, what's that one song in your catalog? Now, you've got a lot of songs. What's that one song that like almost anyone in the rock world would point to right away that's your guys' theme song now?
Gosh, I think it's probably One Shot. I mean, for a long time it was Watch Me Burn. But One Shot's probably the song that most people latch onto. And I think it's because that music video had so much success.
Yeah.
Like, that thing will hit 20 million views by the end of the year, I believe. And that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a credit to all the fans out there just spinning that thing and sending links out. So keep doing that. Really appreciate that. But it's a different side of our music. It's hard because we continue to write whatever we want. So you've got One Shot, which is more of like the right down the middle Midwest type feel. You've got songs like Falling Down or Numb or Drag Me Down or Conquer that are a little bit more edgy. And I'm not really sure what the next sound for us is going to be like. I'm excited to find out myself because you don't really know until you're done writing.
Nope.
We don't go into the studio being like, okay guys, we're going to write this record and it's going to sound exactly like this. Like, I don't think anybody does that. I think it's a really organic process. And then you walk out and it's always different than what you thought was going to happen. I've never walked out of the studio and been like, this is what I thought was going to happen. I'm like, what the fuck? I had no idea. But it's always better that way. Keep yourself surprised and keep it honest.
So looking back, you guys had a great career so far. Can't wait to see you guys touring again. What was the, I guess what I would say is the most memorable tour for you, or like the big, I don't want to say the biggest tour, but the most fun tour. Let me put it that way. The most fun and memorable tour you were on.
I'll go with most memorable. The most fun tour you probably can't talk about, but like most memorable tour was touring the Middle East during the war. So being in Kyrgyzstan and heading down to Afghanistan and then finishing up in Kuwait, waking up in Jalalabad or Salerno, like looking out and there are the mountains of Pakistan, and you can't have lights on at certain bases for fear of a rocket attack. Like, that shit was crazy, man. So like, everyone knows we love the soldiers, and I think it's important that everybody do show their respect and admire their efforts. But being on the ground in a war zone, being able to play for these dudes and dudettes, whatever, men and women, it's just like, that was sick.
Yeah, I mean, I was forgotten about that. Gosh, it's been a while, but hats off to you guys for doing it. I kind of forgot about that for a little while. I wasn't expecting to go to that tour, but man, it makes total sense that you would. And what a good thing you guys did there. I'm kind of curious, do you do anything other than Lansdowne? Like, are you doing any solo stuff? Do you like play at a bar with a guitar in your hand or anything?
So believe it or not, I can't play an instrument. I have no idea what a C sounds like. I don't know. I swear to God, man, I've tried. Like, all my musical ability is just because I can hear it or I can feel it. Like, I can't count 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have some off-time stuff. Someone drag me down, for example. I have to feel that or I'll miss the count. So nothing solo-wise. I think if I were ever to do solo music, it would be more like soul, more like traditional old-school black music. That's the stuff I really enjoy. But in terms of like what we do every day, we've been exploring different passions of ours. So, you've got Sean who runs Red 13, awesome studio. You've got Glenn who started a creative agency in New York, and he works with some huge brands and a lot of the different music labels. I ended up starting a software company for fun because I noticed that everything that we were doing on the road in terms of like trying to coordinate the shows always got fucked up. So I made this software that's a lot like Slack, but with like a music logistics piece on top of it.
Oh, wow.
And we ended up partnering with Live Nation. So I've been working with Live Nation for the last 2 years to build this software so that anytime you're on tour or you're gonna play a show, It's just a lot easier to communicate back and forth with everybody, a lot easier to get the right, like, press picture, for example. You know, you play a venue and they inevitably Google something from 6 years ago where I still had a mullet or whatever I had back in the day. It's just like, that is so unnecessary. So that's been really fun. But it's also made us really appreciate being on the road. There's nothing that we enjoy more than being on stage. It is hands down the best things that we do. So, we're aching to get back out there. I think you'll see a lot more of us next year.
Well, man, we are really looking forward to that. They're in Lansdowne out of Boston. If you know anything about this show, you've heard them many, many, many times before. And the new single is out right now called Falling Down. John, it's so good to talk to you again, and I hope to see you out on the road real soon. Me and the missus, we miss seeing you guys live, and hope to be able to do that again real soon.
Hey, we miss y'all as well. You guys have been there from the beginning. Huge, huge supporters of ours. We love you. We appreciate you, and we are looking forward to playing again for you.